Welcome to Rivals Fight Night. This is the North American Finals. Returning champion Sentinels taking on the challenger of the night as 100 Thieves best fly quest to earn their spot. Welcome in, everybody. It's Chris Puckett alongside Avast and Achilleos, and we've already brought you 3 matches. EU, well, there's one great team over there. They go by the name Virtus Pro. Everyone else is trying to catch up. Meanwhile, in NA, we're told it's a much more even battlefield. We're about to find out. Avast, walk me through what we just witnessed from 100 Thieves, the challenger on the night.
Well, 100 Thieves, I mean, they were hyped coming in. They were a roster previously known as the Mutants. They looked really, really good in early tournaments. Coming back here as 100 Thieves, and we're like, oh, possibly the favorite. Obviously, FlyQuest, a very seasoned roster. They looked pretty dominant. Lost a map though, but and then returned, finish it off very, very strong there on pretty much the Hall of the Jalia. So I think when you look at 100 Thieves coming in here, you saw flexibility, you saw playmaking from their duelists, you saw just the ability to be very, very adaptable across multiple different comps. And coming into against Sentinels, if you're a Sentinels fan, you should be a little worried about this roster. And if you're a 100 Thieves fan, you should be really happy because it's shown that you have the flexibility, you have the staying power, you pretty much have the stopping power as well to beat Sentinels potentially in this grand finals.
If you watched last week, Sentinels had some fantastic Loki play. We just witnessed a lot of Loki. So I think we're going to see that throughout most of this best of 5. Achilleos, if we're looking for other heroes in this game, if I'm coming over from ranked and I'm checking out pro play for the first time, what is being played by the top dogs in NA?
Took a glance at it, and one of the things that I kind of noticed from Sentinels was there's a decent amount of Thor in the mix, and as someone who's a little Thor pilled as well in my own play, kind of excites me, and I hope that continues here today, because you want to change it up every now and then. You don't want to see the same thing game over game, just thing, strange, Venom, etc. Thor, God of Thunder, I'm hoping to see a little bit of that as well.
Avast, is Winter Soldier the most impactful hero in Marvel Rivals right now?
I mean, I would definitely argue it's up there in the top 3, as long as I like Loki, Magneto. Arguably, I would say it's the Winter Soldier is the most impactful duelist across the board, the one that you see the most play, that has the most ability to just influence the field of play the most. So I think that Bucky is... There's a reason that he won the Civil War, or almost, I guess, started the Civil War. He technically didn't win the Civil War. I don't know who won the Civil War in Marvel. Was it like a tie? Did they tie on that?
We all won.
Iron Man
made multiple
won?
movies. It was great. Jesus, Achilleos. Can we give a shout out? Finzi, our Virtus Pro champ, is awake at 4 a.m. over in Europe. He is going to be fielding all questions. If you are a Vanguard main, you want to get better at your Doctor Strange, I highly suggest you drop a follow on Finzi. Watch his streams, and of course you can catch him by just tuning in earlier in the broadcast. He's always playing in the EU finals. As we take a look at these teams, they asked who is in the starting lineup. Well, Terra was definitely a star player to watch, enabled by TTK on the fantastic Vanguard play, and of course Vinny flexing between a Venom, a Groot. The man can run it all.
I'm a big fan of the TTK standing for top tier kid. Yep. I think that's, a little bit of aura attached to that name. I'm also, unrelated to this, very much hoping my chat was not watching that so I don't get clips saying, who won the Civil War? Very much hoping that one, no one's there for that.
Well, now that you've said this.
Now they've said it, now it's too late. I've spoken it to existence. But overall, 100 Thieves, obviously, like you hinted on, this team is a threat across the board. They look really good. And I think that Terra and Delena both, really just people to watch. And especially because we didn't really even get to see that much of Terra on the Wolverine.
They said Thor might only come out if the good tanks are banned. All right, Finzi, you let us know what to expect. That's a look at 100 Thieves. They just showcased their versatility. On the other side, Sentinels. We've seen some fantastic vanguarding and aggressive vanguarding from Hogs and Kalush. Aramori, known for her fantastic play on the Loki. And of course, Karova, we're going to swap out your spider for someone who heals. Rymazing and Super Gomez are going to be taking on the duelist role, though. And who has the tougher job tonight, Avast?
It's got to be Karova on the Penny Parker as the strategist. That's a pretty tough job. But I think overall, technically, Penny Parker does heal. But yeah, I do think this is going to be Sentinels, to me, a defending champ. But I look at how strong the duelists were. overall for 100 Thieves, and there's going to be a lot of pressure on Super Gomez and Rymazine, especially because Super Gomez was flexing a lot off Duelist. Are they going to try to play maybe some more, like, we've seen triple Vanguard from them, from Sentinels, which is something that we haven't really seen across EU or NA yet so far. It's been more triple strategists. So there is some interesting things that could happen there. And is that flexibility going to be a hindrance or a buff? You know, like, would you rather just learn what FlyQuest should have done early on, just keep the double Duelist?
I saw someone asking, why isn't Nightmare playing? Because they rebranded. We have your favorite players. They're all here. It's Rivals Fight Night. Tell your friends. We're live right now. NA Final, about to begin. Why are we not live yet? Well, it's NA players. How do they get in the lobby? They're still trying to figure it out, but we're getting close. And once we do, we can ban and we can protect our favorite heroes. Step number one, that was identifying map number one. That'll be domination. Whoever loses our first dom, well, they get to choose map number two. Loser picks from here on out till one of these teams has 3 wins. And of course, walks away with our $1,000 weekly prize. Shout out Intel as we get this one started. Avast, I think our players are about to pick and ban. I'm going to get rid of Winter Soldier, maybe a Groot if I'm trying to slow down 100 Thieves. On the other side for Sentinels, what were some of their star pieces in week one?
I mean, it was what we talked about a little bit there with Rymazine flexing a lot of times onto the solo duelist, especially with the Storm, letting Super Gomez play a mixture of the Star-Lord or even Thor at times. And also, of course, like always, Aramori and Kurova just being a very, very solid strategist backline. And, you know, I didn't ignore the Vanguards, but definitely someone that are just oftentimes they're doing their jobs. They're not necessarily always stars of the show for Sentinels. They're letting the picks, they're pretty much empowering everyone else to get the most done. Though I will say Kaluj on the Doctor Strange, obviously, a lot of, you know, pretty much a lot of experience in hero shooters. Definitely you're seeing it there on the Doctor Strange in particular as we get into the pick ban phase, or rather the pick ban phase.
Achilles, I go to EWC, right? And Kaluj is walking around like a male model. He's rolled up his jersey so you can extra see the biceps. And I'm told, oh, this guy doesn't even practice. He comes in and he's wrecking face in the early rounds. Then he got rolled by some of the top Korean players. But so far in this game, he is bowling NA. Look out for him to just take over that front line. We talk about the bans and protects. Well, Loki, Aramori's star character, out. So that hero has been removed. We're also going to see Wolverine canceled out by the Sentinels. What's going to be protected? Mag and Groot. The Vanguard will be locked in. The best for both teams.
Which Vanguard duo are we going to be seeing from both of these teams?
I wonder what it could be. Could it be Magneto Groot, maybe?
Doctor Strange?
I mean, there's still thing, and with also Adam Warlock being banned, which is something that Sentinels, they've actually liked to play a lot of Adam Warlock too, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, they pretty much removed like all reses off the map. No Loki, you know, there's no Adam Warlock, so no one's coming back to life. We're not going to have any Necromancers, and Winter Soldier being gone too means that, I mean, Hela, Star-Lord, we're probably going to be seeing a lot of both of them.
The Sentinels 100 Thieves fan battle has begun in the chat. Sentinels is for deforestation. 100 Thieves hates puppies. Both hate Squirrel Girl. Why, we don't know, but we're about to find out. Hell's Heaven is going to be our map, and the initial bans are locked in. So casters, that mean game number one, the best of 5 NA final starts now.
Thank you very much, Puckett. All right, Avast, let's get ready to get geared up and go into this. But yeah, it seems like after the draft, a hell of a lot still open for play. So I think that we might see a decent amount of comp diversity between the two teams here to start things off. Because, I mean, you're talking about the Hela in the mix, but that Namor Luna Snow combo is still available as well. Something that could come to fruition. We'll have to see what they have for us.
Was that a pun for you when you dropped the Hela a lot? Was that low-key Hela a pun?
No, but it is now.
Okay. I mean, you know, you just gotta make it work. Here's the thing, Loki, it's Loki Hella Fire. But overall, as we get ready here for the first fight.
I want to leave.
No, you're not allowed to.
Fired.
No. Portal's coming out early.
ZP, tag in.
Yeah, just sub it.
You know, I'm phoning it in now.
He's not
I've got
coming
enough flaming.
back
I'm phoning it in now. Here it is. I'm about to drop the worst cast of my life. As now Kaluj dropping the portal here, getting up to the high ground very early. 100 Thieves, though, of course, playing on the Groot Magneto, so no portals for them, but still gonna be playing Little Hela Star-Lord, a very common duelist comp that we were expecting here.
Alrighty, well, opening volley coming through here. Inside track onto the point from the side of Sentinels, and okay, Delena able to find that opening kill. Amazing, going to be put down on the floor right off the rip, and Harvey gets into the mix as well. Sticking through with that Invisible Woman as Hogs is going to be taken down, and this is a hell of a start for the side of 100 Thieves. Armory is able to find one in trade, but that does lead to 100 Thieves getting the initial lockdown here on the point. So Hell's Heaven for now in their control.
The Sentinels, they don't want to give it up. I mean, they know they got that pick on Terra, who'll be coming back pretty fast because that rocket propulsion, especially with the buff, has a lot of fuel in the tank. Sentinels looking for the poke, trying to have the entry, and a pretty decent Fate of World's advantage here for Aramori is already. A lot of dark magic stacks there for the Maelstrom. Gonna force them back as Sentinels still trying to find a pick.
Delena again. Finding another one. This time it's going to be Aramori sent back to the respawn room. Hogs does trade one out as Terra's going to be taken down. Kalush pushing forward, gets in on top of the Invisible Woman, and this is going to be a very solid reply from the side of Sentinels, just pushing forward in the neutral, not allowing for 100 Thieves to utilize any of the ultimates that they'd previously built up. And they're going to get a very fast flip, fastest one that we found here today, at least in Americas, or NA, I should say, as that is going to be them in control. Only 36% accrued for 100 Thieves. Coming back in, though, multiple ultimates about to be online for them.
You see some map geometry shifting here, because that's one of the most beloved aspects of Hell's Heaven is some of the shifting of the map geometry here for the point. Sentinels still holding on to the high ground. They know they have the Strangling Prison. 100 Thieves should know that too. They have to be really aware of the threat. Gonna force the Invisible Boundary very early. As now 100 Thieves trying to make the entry.
Dropping that in, only able to find two on the lockdown. No kills to be found on the back end of that one, but Amazing in neutral does find one as Delena's going to be taken down. And for now, 100 Thieves still going to be backpedaling away. Sentinels gaining control, taking the lead here. As for now, struggling to find any kind of access over towards the point, especially as FJP also gets picked off. So solid stagger on the back end. Sentinels is going to allow them to really stretch this lead.
And something to note too, if you haven't already noticed, that Super Gomez on the Magneto, and someone that's for Sentinels flexed a lot onto triple Vanguard, oftentimes playing like Thor. So the Magneto coming out here for Super Gomez, just showing once again so much flexibility for this roster, getting the extra bubbles, and Magneto does a lot of damage now with some of the recent buffs. That's Delena on the very, very long flank. They have to be aware. Are they aware? I mean, they're definitely not looking. As some of the ults are getting traded, the invisible boundary going out. Ayabagimoto, I mean, what's happening? They're not seeing anything. They're just invisible.
Yeah, I have no idea. Either way, the Ayabagimoto went in and Hogs was able to get in on top of Harvey, so kill is found. And the Hell gets unleashed, but he's needing to see a bit more here from the side of 100 Thieves. Backpedaling coming out here from a couple of players on the side of Sentinels is Amazing. Going to be caught there midair. Nice shot from Delena finding that punish. Gets in a smattering of additional damage there onto the tank line, but Kalush still healthy enough, pushes forward, keeps this in contest for the moment as they look to try to get up to 99% at the very least here, for potentially conceding it. But Super Gomez now looking for that Meteor M, sends it, but still not going to be found. Vinny going to be frozen here on the corner. And Super Gomez does fall. 100 Thieves gain control, now ticking up past 40%. Still a long way to go, but a couple additional staggers will go ahead and allow them to bleed out a bit of extra percentage.
And 100 playing a comp now here with the magic as well for Terra that's prioritizing, okay, we have a lot of damage on the field. We have some ability to chunk down some Vanguards here with the magic, but also we're extremely mobile. We have the Hela and also the magic that we can use those stepping discs to just kind of get around the portals, run around dark. I mean, pretty much now the issue here is that you have to make it through the choke here yet again. And it's very, very hard to go through, especially with the Dark Child up for Terra, who's just going to look to pop that, knowing that they can just force this Radical very, very early.
So far, they are allowed widely to just get out into the open here. So space is conceded. The Dark Child's still not going to be popped here from Terra quite just yet. Hogs trying to get that ult back online here. Sentinels 3 to work with here for the moment. And Delena going to be taken down to Super Gomez, able to find that opening kill. Meteor M now out from TTK, looking for a target, looking for a big burst here, but nothing really widely going to be found. Aramori able to go ahead and keep everybody alive with her ultimate. Ayabagimoto now going to be thrown in here from Kalush, getting the stun, looking for the kills, but not going to be found. SJP, similarly there with a Fate of Two Worlds.
Oh, and the force physics so brutal there from Kurova.
Kalush,
they back up.
Battered. It's not going down. 99.99 here. Spread out across both teams. Super Gomez finding one on the back end. Finding another as Delena similarly going to be taken down. That's going to be the duelist now eliminated, taken out of the hands here of 100 Thieves, and that allows them to just further push forward, break down this front line, and in all likelihood, go ahead and claim this opening round in Hell's Heaven.
As now 100 Thieves probably not going to be able to get the recontest. I mean, they do have Terra on the Strange trying to get the portal, but it's not going to be in time. And now it makes a lot of sense as well. Why did they ban the Wolverine? Why was Wolverine banned? Well, guess what? If we play triple Vanguard, there's no Wolverine to chunk through it. Magic probably the next best option, because Wolverine, remember, does damage based on the percentage of the target's total health and gains damage stacks from the Berserker's Rage. So one of the best options to burn through really large health pools, but there's no Wolverine available. Sentinels made sure to get rid of it, and now this triple Vanguard comp, they can just slap Super Gomez onto the Magneto, onto the Thor, and it makes it really hard to counter.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Clue so far looking like a bit of an immovable object here. 10-1-1.
Escapes the inevitable.
And damage lead as well here for the side of Sentinel. So very solid performance. And I mean, again, we're talking about this a bit in the previous series. It's a solid start for Sentinels, and they're coming into this one with a Meteor M as well as that Goddess of Death available for them. So potential for a pretty breezy first take at this point as we go into the second round.
2, 1.
Seems there's going to be some early portals coming out from either squad. Looks like it is going to be once again Kaluge looking for the portal. TDK doing the same as well, though. So both teams opting to save their feet. They're like, no, we're not going to wear out our shoes. We're going to take the portal hill, take a little extra positioning. It's 100 Thieves, though, opting to take the high ground instead.
Yeah, end up split across from each other here for the most part. High ground, though. Not going to save them too much from that Goddess of Death if it does end up getting called in from the side of Amazing. Kurova now ult online. Aramori nearly going to be there is Vinny for the moment. Just kind of getting bullied down below half HP. The freeze coming across. Root's going to be pulled out in desperation, but Eye of Agamotto, everybody's stacked in, but still, it's going to be 100 Thieves coming away with 2 kills on the back end. Solid turnaround here from them. Super Gomez is going to only be able to find one commits in with that Meteor M. And widely, 100 Thieves going to be able to shrug that one off. Terra down to a sliver of HP, trying to stay alive. Looks like they will be able to do so. As 100 Thieves look for this opening cap with Amazing's death.
Oh, Vinny staying alive there at the very end. And that was almost a very fast fight loss there for 100 Thieves because they just did not have the invisible boundary up just yet for Harvey. Luckily, they get up in time, the invisible woman ult, keeping everyone up alive through the strangling prison. And what's so important too, with TTK on the Doctor Strange, even with the Eye of Agamotto going out, getting the stun, and still the invisible woman ult just ending there for Sentinels. Getting the Maelstroms, getting those dark magic stacks just lets you get burst even through some of those support ults. Because now they're going to look to fight the high ground here at Kilios. And it's really a question of like, okay, we have nothing in the bank other than a strategist ult, so can we find a pick on the flank? The answer is no.
Yes, you can. Delena up above. Amazing, completely caught off guard. Stun into the headshot. Easy deliverance of that elimination as Sentinels once again backpedaling out, needing to play this with a full 6v6. But based on that, that previous fight, the swing there for 100 Thieves to be able to get the cap, they've completely also just swung the ult economy fully in their favor. 6 ults on the way. It's finished. It's 50% off now. And it's okay. Galactic Legend. He forces the ult from Aramori. Desperation calls, and it's just going to be a double stack here on these support ultimates. I've got out there from the side of TTK. Not sure if he quite got a catch, but either way, Hogs does end up getting taken down as Elena delivers one, Terra finding another. As things go from bad to worse here for the side of Sentinels, 100 Thieves running away with the round.
And not even have to invest a lot of the ults there. Only having to use 2 there to make sure they clean up that fight. As now, it's going to be a final recontest option here for Sentinels.
I mean, you say it's 2, but they've also got 2 out from Sentinels. Both support.
They did, yeah. They got ults out as well, which is so crucial. I mean, so extremely crucial here for now. So Sentinels down in the ult bank. They don't have a huge economy. They have to be coming in for the recontest. They're in this advantage pretty much in every way. We're going to need to see a hero play. Maybe something comes out from Amazing, gets an early pick. As 100 Thieves are sitting here waiting for them.
I mean, you've got maybe a combo between Hogs and Super Gomez here if they can just try to really layer in with that Meteor M. Have to see, but for now, the approach is trying to get over to the point. It's still fairly brutal here for Sentinels. Looking for the setup, but Amazing dead. Delena once again having the upper hand there. Super Gomez trades one back. Harvey going to be taken down. The healing now going to be cut in half here on the side of 100 Thieves. But SJP, made 2 worlds in the back pocket. Woman ult going to be committed there from the side of Kurova. Not allowing for Terra to really find too much value here off the back of this. Was rushing forward, ends up getting frozen, trying to dash out. No, re-aggresses forward. In the meantime, Delena coming away huge. Goddess of Death. Gunning down 2, Super Gomez. Able to find Terra. Sentinels now just trying to keep this one tank alive. The barrier not going to be holding. Super Gomez does get pushed back up towards full HP. Hog's going to be swapping over onto the Venom now. Triple Tank just try to get back over onto the point. No. Swaps, rethinks it, goes for the Groot here. Trusting in the team to be able to try to continue this delay, but Delena once again finds a huge pick as Amazing gets taken down. Finds Kurova as Delena is absolutely taking over this map and this round. And Thieves looking to just close out this 100-0, and they will be able to do so. Huge performance to go ahead and extend us to a 3rd and final round here on Hell's Heaven.
And I mean, that's just That's just 100 Thieves masterclass, honestly. I mean, they just made sure to get some early picks. They won the ult fight that mattered. They had the huge bank for the following fight, and were extremely, I would say, prudent with the ults, not making sure to overuse in the fight previously. And then it just became a stagger situation where you're stuck in this kind of like in this cycle for a little bit because the staggers can take so long in Marvel Rivals of, okay, we have portals, we have players that are very fast, and they have like big health pools, big sustain, and it's just a slow lose burn there unless you're managed to find a pick.
I mean, kind of was glazing him after the first round, but I mean, Kalush went from 10-1-1 to 11-5-1, and if that doesn't paint the picture for how brutal that second round was for Sentinels overall, well, then I think that the lack of stats increase pretty much tells you the whole story. But now a final round to decide it all. Overall, not too, really any changes to be seen. Just going to be sticking with the same compositions.
And you know, you talked a lot about previously about how Vinny was called the GOAT Groot, right? And you just see that damage there for Vinny. I mean, Vinny also holding on to the Strangling Prison for this first fight. Doing a lot there on the Groot as already both teams choosing to fight here on the flank very, very early, trying to find the high ground. Wall's looking for an isolation. No one found just yet, but they have to be aware of the Strangling Prison for Vinny. Could just find an early pick because there's no strategist ult up just yet for Sentinels.
Og's is on prison, nearly available. All shifting around, drop down here onto the point itself now, as it is unlocked. 100 Thieves once again trying to get that opening lockdown. Ult's in first and foremost here from Vinny, and Kalush ends up getting picked off. Answering ult now going to be used maybe here in desperation from the side of Hogs. No combo on the back of it, but Terra does get caught up in the crossfire, ends up falling down, so 1 for 1 in that regard. Got us to death quickly going to be burst through here, it would seem. As up and over the top, Delena try to get up on the high ground, but Right Amazing still comes away with one. SJP going to be taken down as soon as the ult expires. All right, I think Legend now going to be popped here from Terra as things get chaotic here on the point, and Right Amazing ends up getting taken down. Delena once again coming away with the kill in that hella 1v1. The HP bars right now are just not going to be sustainable. So much damage throughput from the side of 100 Thieves. They absolutely maul Sentinels and gain control of the point.
When you see here for this triple Vanguard composition for Sentinels, losing one, in particular Kalush or Super Gomez early, that's a lot of your damage off the field. Especially when, okay, we pop the Strangling Prison there for Hogs. You're hoping to burst them through it, even with the invisible boundary coming up from Harvey. But unfortunately, with Kalush down, you don't have the Maelstrom. You don't have that dark magic just to drop a quick burst, find someone through, just out heal, or pretty much out damage the healing. It's on the high ground, exactly what you need. I mean, just looking for the pick here, hoping to find someone, maybe one of the squishies, strategists, saying, okay, I'm just going to bide my time. I'm just going to wait. Soul Drainer in my pocket.
And no one noticing the cloak that was just billowing out from the corner. As up over the top, Yggdrasil going to be popped here from TTK and immediately is able to find a kill on the back end. Korova just going to be taken down. That's the supports now eliminated. Right, Amazing. Yeah, sure, a bit of revenge there. A personal vendetta perhaps against Selena, but not nearly enough to try to find a fight victory. 100 Thieves very quickly brush Sentinels under the rug.
And 2 ults used over 100 Thieves there because they had the setup there waiting for Delena in the background so they could drop the Eye of Agamotto on the high ground, find the strategist. And Kalush seeing that TDK is up there, it's like, okay, I'm going to drop the Eye of Agamotto. So Harvey just reactively pops the invisible boundary. So though they lose the fight, they got 2 ults out of them. So not the worst situation to be in, especially because the fight ended pretty quickly. The Sentinel's trying to come back in here.
Trying to come in, but also could just get locked in position here on this choke. But oh, Terra. Bit of an overextension. End up falling. Korova able to go ahead and find that punish. Delena similarly once again going to be looking for a flank, but things might be falling apart a bit too quickly here on the point itself as 100 Thieves down 2 players. Rejoin getting ready to come through. Vinny trying to stay alive. TTK as well. Vinny whittled away yet. Ends up falling. Amazing. Finding SJP. That'll be the breakthrough that Sentinels desperately needed. They'll avoid getting 100-0'd again as they fight back here on this third and final round.
And you just see just how stubborn Groot is to remove. I mean, it's just a vine, a living vine there on the point with the Ironwood walls, just getting the bonus health, getting that HP. Standing next to it that's activated by the passive. Even down a strategist is now Sentinels in control. They have a lot of bank to make up for. To try to fight this high ground very aggressively, but you have to be careful of the peaks here. Don't get caught as the Galactic Legend used here from Terra. Can he find anyone?
He's going to be looking for it. Super Gomez, Meteor Amp popped. Kill's not found off the back of that one. Now is Goddess of Death going to be used. Delena up into the sky. Already, I don't know about half, but still persevering. But does manage to come away with one. Amazing, going to be killed caught by that last little hit there, as now the Eye of Agamotto in, just getting the stuns. Kaluj immediately delivered unto death as Vinny comes away with 2. And 100 Thieves very quickly regain control. Yep, they're just going to go ahead, block this off, or no?
Oh, they're not portaling spawns. They're looking to counter the portal for Kaluj, potentially. They're looking to counter the portal for Kaluj. He's going to put it directly in front of him, try to block that. Oh, instead, they're actually not even doing that. Like, Kaluj wasn't able to get it off. They didn't have the time. They didn't have the time. I thought they were going to look to block it, but instead they're like, actually, let's just shoot Kaluj while he's looking to portal.
No. Either way, of little consequence. It ends up just being a 2-0 closeout, or 2-1 closeout, I should say, here on Hell's Heaven for 100 Thieves, as they start the series off right. I mean, you mentioned it, Avast, the rivalry between these two organizations across other esports, and this is off to the right foot for 100 Thieves.
The Marvels rivalry, one could say.
Yes. Yes, you could.
You could say that.
Fire him again.
There it is. There's a second fire fiend coming through. But I mean, it's esports. I'm used to it. But I think overall, I think 100 Thieves with a really good showing here. And they showed that also, even with the Wolverine ban, it's like, okay, making sure that Sentinels tried to set up very early. Wait, there's something going on with it.
I was going to say,
here? What's going on here?
My savior of Vast.
I'm getting hit with some sort of cosmic ray. I'm going to join the Fantastic Four.
Plexiglass right in front of your camera.
I have a green screen behind me. How is this even possible? But you know what? Let's just ignore. I'm gonna go close a window. Let's see if that fixes it. I'm just gonna walk away from the.
No way. Just turn your head. See if you can wear it like a visor.
Fucking I'll hold.
You could be Cyclops, bro. He's gonna be the next character.
Yeah, it seems like an inevitability.
Lazy Avast, always fixing the problem instead of having fun with it.
Got it.
Achilles, let's talk a little bit about this game because 100 Thieves are the challenger. This was our predetermined map, so it was an even battlefield, and they came out after dropping the early stage with back-to-back wins. The second one, that round 2, 100-0, totally countered the triple bully ball we saw from Sentinels early on.
Yeah, it felt like for 100 Thieves, like struggling at the beginning to try to really just get through the tankiness of Sentinels, as the Vest was talking about, didn't have that Wolverine, don't have that percentage damage. And then something just clicked. And then when we went into that second round, they just immediately had an understanding. And it felt like Sentinels, the team play started to fall apart. I mean, huge credit to Delena in particular, because so many times the Sentinels was just trying to go on an approach to get into position to try to get a retake happening. They just lose a player because Delena just comes away with an opening kill, and then they have to full reset. Something like 50% more is added to the the clock there for 100 Thieves, and it felt like Sentinels was just never able to get into a real groove in those last 2 rounds.
Hella's ultimate seems to be pretty good against big tanks. You saw it at the end of that round. Some huge roots coming in combined with Terra finishing on that Star Lord. The 2 DPS versus the Soul Rymazing on Hella seemed to be the difference for 100 Thieves, but that's just our first map. And Avast, I gotta ask, is this a Groot diff?
Honestly, I mean, I'm glad you asked, because Vinny has looked great last game, looking fantastic this game, constantly finding value. And I think what's so important to remember about, especially for Vanguards, and something that we noticed there is like, okay, what clicked? Well, TTK swapped to Strange. A very, very high damage tank, a lot of burst as well for the Maelstrom, and Vinny just consistently finding value, splitting heals with the walls, just making sure to do a ton of damage in general. And I think that's something that's so important when you talk about like, oh, it's triple Vanguard. Like, I think a lot of people worry like, oh, triple Vanguard, it's going to be so overpowered, it's going to be so strong, they do so much damage, they have so much health. Well, luckily there are options to burst through that healing. You do have options as well, especially if you have some very talented duelist players. So I do think that Vinny is crucial to that by making sure to split the utility constantly for Sentinels and do a lot of damage, force ults with the Strangling Prison. And it's a really good call in general, because there's a reason people say Vinny's the best, potentially best Groot in NA, if not the world, is some of the gameplay we're seeing here today.
There's already been accusations. Delena said he's playing with the control and he uses a Zim. He's cheating against us PC players. Is it true? We'll wait till land. Is it copy pasta? Probably so. We're going into map 2 either way. It's going to be on Midtown, and this is a Sentinels pick that we saw 1 week before. So, Avast, in all my games, I'm getting Storm, I'm getting Moon Knighted. If I allow it through, there's going to be a Namor. What did we expect, though, at a pro level for this map?
Honestly, you're not insanely far off. I mean, you wouldn't be necessarily shocking to see Moon Knight. Moon Knight has seen some play Squirrel Goal even, because especially for that first point in parts of it, it's just so choke heavy. The first and the last, you have a lot of spam, but Namor, Winter Soldier, of course, like all of those are great picks. Even Star-Lord, because there's a lot of maneuverability that could happen. Realistically, those three you're going to see like almost all the time anyways, unless they're explicitly banned. But this is one of the maps, just because of how extremely powerful the geometry is and how narrow a lot of the chokes are, you could see a Moon Knight, you could see a Squirrel Gold, because you're able to get a lot of value from the spam damage, especially for the Hand of Khonshu. You can just burst through almost every strategy ult too. So there is some options for that to come out, which would be a little bit of a departure from what we've seen typically. And you know, I would actually kind of like to see it, even though I'm not the hugest fan of just the spam comps. It's a little bit of a departure from the norm.
I think it'll only happen if Hela gets banned. So Achilleos, let's see if they want to stop Delana from pulling out the Hela, and if so, what are you going to deal with instead? Our ban and protect coming up any moment. These NA players really take their time to marinate in these pre-shows, Achilleos.
Do you know what North of NA stands for?
No,
They've nearly arrived to the keyboard. They've nearly arrived to the keyboard. That's typically what NA stands for in the fight night, in the rival.
Do you think
fight
they
night,
just get like nervous since they have small bladders?
Well, currently, I mean, they're saying that they're in the bathroom. So they do say that it's a bio break currently. So as someone that has a small bladder, I understand, honestly, because I have the deadly duo of I chug liquids and I have a small bladder. But at the same time, I'm still here.
This is my glass. I'm chugging these mid-broadcast. It's empty. I'm rooted and booted. Let's go, players.
I've gone through almost all of this. It's 1.5 liters, and then I've also had 2 coffees. Haven't used the bathroom since we came on for the start of America.
And that's a genetic freak moment. Don't take that at face value. That's a genetic freak moment. That's a lot of liquid. Like someone should pee at that point.
Become part camel and just be able to store it. You know, it's just it's a better life, because it's good when you have these long series and not many breaks in between. So,
very true. He's the Scott Hansen of South Korea, our one and only Seth Achilleos. You can find him on Twitter over at AchilleosCast. And speaking of Twitter, what a great, oh man, the bands came up right when I was going to tell you to follow us. Anyway, we're on social media, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter. Just hit those buttons. Avast will, is there an Overwatch in OW, or is it just Avast_O?
It's just an O, because of the fact that there's an internet security company with a similar name. But I'm not backing down. They'll never get me to change it.
Aha! All right, Wolverine gone. We also see Aramori's main Loki banned back-to-back games by Thieves. I think they're onto something.
I think removing the Loki in general is just a strong pick, because a lot of teams have played almost exclusively with the Loki, including Sentinels. And like, Aramori obviously can flex off of Loki. It's not an issue of Aramori being off Loki. It's just the issue is Loki is such a central part of a lot of their strategy. I mean, and they're going to get rid of the Warlock again, because they really don't want to play Sentinels into the Adam Warlock comp, which is something they've done a lot of actually in the past. So it's kind of breaking down pretty similarly. We might see Sentinels try to force the triple Vanguard again, but maybe with Super Gomez on like a Thor
for extra
damage. Yeah.
The right heroes
exciting stuff. What does that tell you? It tells you, watch the Vinny versus Hogs battle. Observers, if we can get a nice third-person perspective of the two groups just doing this at each other for a real long time, that'd be awesome. Here we go.
I mean, for me, thank you. I was gonna say, for me, I think we have to kind of continue to watch these Hellas if they keep getting played, because not having that ban come through. I mean, we know Sentinels like to play that themselves. Seen it plenty, both last week and so far in the first map here of us. But just given the performance that we were seeing, it might have to be a consideration depending on how this Midtown goes.
Yeah, I mean, Hela, it's hard to justify banning Hela, at least, because she is really, really strong, but she's not necessarily like a hard counter to a lot of things, like a Winter Soldier is. She's just very, very strong. She's extremely mobile, can take high grounds, get a lot of picks, and she does enable like some team ups there, obviously with like the Loki and the Thor, the ability to res people, but obviously with Loki being gone, it's not going to be happening more than likely. And I doubt for a map like Midtown you'd stop playing the Hela, just because there's so much verticality on this map too, and you still want to have that option to be able to take these off angles and look for picks, essentially on some of the squishies.
Well, not going to be getting any kind of portal blocks here to stop people from getting out of the spawn room. We'll just be straight into the neutral fighting, as we do have 100 Thieves first on the attack here on Midtown. That hole's widely contained here forced back even further around the corners. Collusion Hogs just getting absolutely battered at the moment. TTK fearlessly just pushing forward, controller in hand. He's trusting in the rest of the team to put him here from behind. And that's going to be Hogs picked off. Amazing is able to find one as Terra will get taken down, finds another. TTK does get punished. Opportunity to find some stability, but Collusion just getting dinked one after the other, but Delena just not quite able to go ahead and confirm that kill. Card, however, still does gain a bit of distance here, but Collusion finding SJP slows up 100 Thieves for now.
Oh my gosh, and Vinny on the Groot, I mean, just using those Thornlash walls, just do so much damage there, using the passive when you get some damage to lash out. 100 Thieves getting their spawns back, gonna take control of the card here. Sentinels looking to wait for Rymazing. They are down a lot of damage currently here, and they only really have one ult. I mean, it's only one ult remaining, but that'll help if Super Gomez will get one.
Definitely does. Gets the cleanup there. Koroba now just going to be sending in the ultimate here, looking just to try to force 100 Thieves back, keep this card here at the corner, but now they go re-aggressing forward here. Terra goes in with the ultimate, not going to be able to find too much at the back of that one. Mori, ultimate rolling, keeps everybody sustained for the moment as now the roots come in from Hogs. Locked in position for the time being here, 100 Thieves, but once again, just not enough throughput to really find any eliminations. Now Collusion at risk, and the way to take it down, Terra coming away with that kill. Moves in, finds the melee hit. So look for even further on the cleanup here. Both tanks now going to be broken down. Goddess of Death into the back line are amazing. Looking to try to peel this pressure back away from the front lines here. Try to stop this cart from advancing, but widely, they just push the cart away from the ultimate, and they're able to dodge out the damage from Amazing.
And so important what happened during that fight as well is that Kaluj went for the Eye of Agamotto towards the end of that invisible boundary after the ult had been traded there. Harvey put it out and got stunned out of it. Lost. Got no value. Pretty sure it was a free, maybe an absolute zero, but a freeze there from SGP. Also Harvey with the force physics, making sure that just weren't able to follow up. As now another fight happening. It's Delena finding one with the Goddess of Death here. I mean, there's just going to be so much damage. It should be second point.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the ultimate doesn't need to deliver a multitude of kills. Just finding the first one there to really finish off Collusion and ensure that they can't really sustain up that HP bar. That's enough to go ahead and seal the deal on it. Does find a second kill for the Troubles, but with the cap on 8, it's now just under 4 minutes remaining here for 100 Thieves as they begin the second stretch of the map. Terra trying to push forward, trying to find a stagger, does end up getting punished, so a minor little reset, but there's still so much space acquired by 100 Thieves that this doesn't cost them anything, really.
It's most a little bit of an ego sting more than anything else. It just shows that Invisible Woman can definitely duel some duelists there, but they'll be back very soon with the Rocket Repulsion as TTK looking to pressure here on the front line. A lot of ult's going to be up though for Sentinels, and it's going to hurt worse with Terra coming back and being gone again. Yeah. They just don't get a chance to play the game, huh?
Yeah, I'd be curious to see where Rymazing was for that kill. Didn't quite catch a glimpse of them. Wonder if it was a forward flank position to just catch him on the respawn. Either way, we see Rymazing right there, though, playing out into the hallway.
Big problem here, Kilios. Perhaps in your time, they've overlaid the support ults. They've overlaid the strategist ults there for 100 Thieves backline.
Yep. So a bit of a double stack going to be coming through. Let's see if they're going to be able to still be able to play out through the remainder of this fight. As TTK moving forward, looking for the stuns off the Eye of Agamotto. Hogs is going to be taken down, but now Galactic Legend rather going to be coming through from Super Gomez. As it looks like widely this is going to be costly for the side of 100 Thieves not having these ults available for the back end of the fight.
And now, and not only not having it for the back end of the fight, but also, well, and then also the pick, the Soul Drainer, so well played there for Sentinel. Super Gomez going over the Star-Lord here too. Just getting able to combine there with Rymazing as Kaluj in. Only gets one, but that's more than enough because they should have the picks, but I think they have to make sure not to overchase.
Yeah, do pull back. Opening here, this midsection is in control of 100 Thieves as they look to take the high ground. Good amount of burst damage going their way though. Try to get up and over the top and back over to the cart. Now starting to inch forward once again. Goddess of Death going to be called in. Hogs going to be taken down. However, 100 Thieves winning out this fight. This Goddess of Death able to find one, finds the second, and suddenly the turn can come through. 4v3 as a rejoin gets ready to come in here from Sentinels, and this should allow them to go ahead and maintain control, especially as TTK ends up hitting the ground. Delena getting the better of Rymazing once again, but this is going to be low on HP. Drop down. Kalush finds the punish, and once again, 100 Thieves need to get collected. These last couple fights, these skirmishes, they've been really scattered and they haven't gone for just a full reset.
And Kurova once again showing the power of Invisible Woman here, because something to remember is that the primary fire, it passes through and then bounces back. So if you're in an enclosed space, you're doing a lot of damage there to get some picks as the Galactic Legend used Terra trying to chase down someone, but I don't think they're gonna be able to find anyone here off this. They're just able to run away.
It's just going to be a space gain here for the side of 100 Thieves. Terra just keeping them forced back. The cart once again going to be advancing forward, getting ready to go down that ramp over towards that point B checkpoint. But now Super Gomez opening up the zone, looking to try to retake this space here for themselves. But amazing, able to find Elena before and try to go in for that ultimate. Kurova does go ahead, sends the ultimate. The still in a very solid position to maintain control. People going to be locked in position. Agamotto going to be used it from Kaluj, but the turnaround from 100 Thieves is just too damn good. Just fully shutting them down. Portal now going to be coming through, dancing here on the cart is our Mori, just trying to delay, try to wait for the rest of the team to try to get into a position, but Hog similarly falling. 100 Thieves now in a good spot as, oh, these staggers are brutal. They should be able to just go ahead and get damn close to the cap off the back of this.
Did TTK already portal? We saw TTK going for the portal. I'm assuming so. Yes, and there's going to be the portal coming on in here to touch. But Galactic Legend, as they come through the portal here, just trying to get Tess dancing back and forth. It's going to look a little confusing. They're thinking we're portals here, but pretty much are looking to dance around the damage, trying to make it back in. A very, very healthy though for Sentinels still, but now not so healthy, taking a lot of damage coming out doing it. This should be the fight.
Yeah, I mean, Super Gomez just kind of getting chunked as soon as they go through the portal, ends up falling. The rest of the team not able to find stability off the back of that one, as it looks like Gomez should be able to escape back to safety. Stays alive, but 100 Thieves, a lifeline found as they get the cap, so an extra minute and a half added to the time bank here for the final stretch. A couple ults to work with, still far away from some of the more impactful ones, the more stabilizing ones, as SJP and Harvey do not have those quite just yet.
A lot of eyes here onto TTK, knowing that they have the Agamotto, knowing that Sentinels do not have double strategy just yet. They should be aware of it. There's a chance they might be able to build the boundary before. Yeah, it looks like they are going to. So now, kind of irrelevant. So more than likely looking to use the Strangling Prison to try to force something. Keep an eye out for Rymazen and Delana just keeping these flank battles going, looking for picks, trying to get someone out of position.
Oh, the push away. I have Agamotto looking for the dial there, but Blue's going to be taken down all the same. Solid kill to be found. Got us to death. Just trying to just send in those shots blindly here. It has to just go ahead, pop the crow, fly over to the side, but great chase there from Terra. He'll get in on top, finds that elimination now, pops the ultimate immediately. Krova going to be taken down. Super Gomez similarly going to be falling to the wayside. There's 100 Thieves to have as strong of a finish here to the map as they possibly can. Looking to try to get to the finish line. A little bit of time left in the bank. Hog's going to be taken out, and one by one, it seems like Sentinels is going to get picked apart. Kalush still alive. The one player here in that front line. Eye of Agamotto at the ready. Can he find a setup for it? Just a couple meters left to go. Drops in, gets the pop, but needs some damage on the back end here. But instead, it's going to be Kalush. Focus fired down to Selena. Still just weaving in the spears, finding that kill. Daggerfly Strip finds that shot. Time drained out, but 100 Thieves still in a good position to go ahead and get the finisher. Hogs with the swap over onto the Captain America, just trying to find a little bit of extra staying power, but it still ends up falling down. 100 Thieves, overall, very solid rally back here in the latter half of this map. No time in the bank, but they crucially get to the end of Midtown.
Getting the finish. I mean, it's in many ways people say, you know, it's not about the destination, about the journey. Wrong. It is about the destination. You want to cap out here for sure. And I think on a map like this, on a map like Midtown, where it's very hard oftentimes to finish the cap out, it's great to get that in general. And you see the power of Star-Lord in general. Why Star-Lord is just increasingly getting played so much more is the ability to just chase down frags, keep the tempo really high. The ults got traded. They got some early elims. And they're just able to send in Terra with the Galactic Legend to just find some very, very early picks in the next fight and chase down those stragglers, forcing the Fate of Worlds there for Kurova.
As we're jumping back in here, sorry to cut you off there. I've asked some comments from the chat. Is Rymazen getting hella diff right now by 100 Thieves Delana? How do you guys see this one playing out? And why does Super Gomez keep going back onto a tank? Isn't he best on Duelist? These are all questions from the chat.
Well, I mean, we talked about a lot how Sentinels has played a lot of Triple Vanguard. I'm going to be honest, there's not... the diff happens, in fact, there to Rymazen. So I'm going to say, if anything, Rymazen's been holding their own pretty well versus Delana. I don't think it's... I think Delana's getting a lot of value on the flanks. But it is the question of like why Super Gomez keeps going to Triple Vanguard. It's really just Sentinels loves these Triple Vanguard comps, and especially Wolverine Band, you're like historically like, oh, it's hard to counter this, right? You don't have like a Vanguard Buster, but 100 Thieves, they really have found a great option here with this, with the Star-Lord, with the Hela just playing on the high ground. And when you have someone like Vinny that just does so much damage, especially combined with the Doctor Strange that also does so much damage, you don't necessarily have to have the Wolverine. So maybe Sentinels just used to it, just used to this comp.
With the triple Vanguard back into play here for the side of Sentinels, this is where they need Rymazing to perform and not get diffed by Delena. Already off to a decent start, had that opening pick, so some space afforded over to the card as they get a decently swift push up to this big corner here. 100 Thieves, can they get collected enough to really contest this and try to wrest some control away is going to be the question. Terra consistently getting chunked out. Just has to keep tucking back here behind the ambulance. Get that HP back up, but Galactic Legend nearly online here. Could be a breaking point in this defense. We'll have to just wait and see. But for now, it's going to be Korova first to strike. Sends out an ultimate, but Delena does find Rymazing. So the lone duelist on the side of Sentinels ends up getting picked apart. An opportunity here of weakness for 100 Thieves to try to exploit.
Oh, and it's always so scary to go for that Blaster Barrage when you don't have a Magneto for your team. You don't have the bubble to keep you from that aggression. As Hogs gonna get one, gonna get two. Super Gomez making sure to get one, another one. Gonna be the full wipe there. As Sentinels now keeping the card going, but they have no bank. No bank at all here, though, by the way. Like, sure, they're gonna get the cap, but there is 0 ults in the bank outside of the Agamotto. So 100 Thieves, sure, it's a relatively fast cap, but they can feel pretty confident here because second is really a very, very tough challenge, especially with all the fighting's gonna take place on the high ground here.
Well, we have seen, though, some, we saw it from Sentinels in the first map. Maybe we see it here from 100 Thieves. Team's getting a bit frazzled, not being able to get fully recollected and reset, and then ending up bleeding out those ultimates one by one or stacking them in the case of what we saw from 100 Thieves when they were on their attack. Let's see, those right now, for the moment, don't have that opportunity. Harvey going to be trying to catch up, but Delena able to go ahead and note Rymazing, finds that kill. Kalush goes forward, gets the stun, looking for that elimination, but it's going to be Kalush
Beautiful
taking down the Eye of Agamotto, just not able to find it. Like you said, the shield coming through is keeping him protected, as now floodgates opened up and 100 Thieves just shoving him back.
Okay, I might have spoke too soon. Maybe Delena is doing the Helidiv. It could be, maybe Delena is hitting the Helidiv here, especially on the defense for them. And just once again, you see the power of Invisible Woman just being able to pop shields throughout the map to protect your flankers. It mitigates damage, it gives healing. It's such a strong piece of utility. And combined with the force physics, I mean, you're just able to push away ults. And a lot of the pressure here on Rymazing really to, honestly, with, not to mince the words, it just has to stop going down the Delena on the flank. They need to win a flank battle.
Yeah, they're about to clash again. Over on that flank, you see they're just sending out those daggers towards one another. In the meantime, the tank line from Sentinels is desperately trying to get this cart moving forward. The prison going to be sent out here. Vinny trying to just go ahead and continue to shove things back, and now you've got the Goddess Depth just up above, just constantly layering in this damage. Heals out from Aramori, should be able to keep everybody alive through this, but never mind. Delena's still going to be able to come away with 2 as the ult expires. This is going to be, once again, 100 Thieves brushing off this attack from Sentinels. More time bought. Still 3 minutes, so decent time bank to work with for Sentinels, but reminder that they have to make it to the end of the map.
And this is where it makes Midtown so hard to attack, right? It's just that you get to the second point. The chokes are very, very oppressive. The geometry's hard to get around. You need to be ideally winning on the flanks because, like, you're just going to be trading ults back and forth until eventually, okay, there was a huge Eye of Agamotto from TTK. As you see, once again, Rymazing looking to take this duel. But while that happens, Galactic Legend out.
Being noted on that flank makes him that much more vulnerable. Amazing. Under a bit of damage there. And okay, yep, not what you want to be seeing there. As they do manage to go ahead and pull some attention. So Amazing stays alive for the moment. Goddess of the Death still at the ready. Vinny continuing to try to be as immovable of a tree as humanly possible. Gets pulled in, gets frozen up, but HP bar still relatively healthy. But Amazing, or rather, ult not opened up. This managed to go ahead and come away with a neutral kill. And follows up on the back end with 2 more. TTK, SJP, both going to be taken down here by this Hela's hand. And that's exactly the kind of performance, exactly the kind of fragging that you need to be seeing here from Rymazing. As for now, Sentinels, a decent amount of space going to be opened up, but 100 Thieves can get themselves
a little bit of bog. They have bog TTK here a little bit. I mean, that's just the power of the portals, right? If you don't have options to counter portal, you're just stuck in a situation where you have to make it out. As see Terra going to the magic touch, but Delena already down. And with this damage advantage, I mean, Sentinels, they should be able to cap this out because there's no more ults on the field here for 100 Thieves unless they all get caught by an Eye of Agamotto. And yeah, it's already capped. So.
The cap is there. There was an attempt. I mean, Terra doing his damage to try to get in there, but in the end, the portal bog is just far too strong. So now an extra bit of time. So 2:45 to make it to the end of the map. And if Sentinels can do it with time in the bank, they'll be in a very nice, advantageous position going into extra innings here.
You see
Thieves still an opportunity to try to slow this up.
They're close to a Dark Child, very close to a Dark Child, honestly. And, you know, I didn't love the magic early on in the first map of domination, but definitely still pretty decent counter into a triple Vanguard. Not a terrible option, especially for maybe finding some strategies in the back line. You see Right Amazing looking for the duels, looking to find a pick. Almost finding one, not quite though.
Terra. Dark Child now going to be online. TTK, Eye of Agamotto there. Collusion nearly with one to try to match. 9% away here on the opposite side. Pushing forward, look at the shove them back. TTK still just holding that ultimate here in the back pocket, not sending it quite just yet. Roots out there from Hogs, not going to be leading to too much though for the side of Sentinels.
If you showed this screen to a medieval peasant, their brain would explode. They wouldn't know what's happening. There's the Eye of Agamotto coming out. Strategist going to keep them alive, and TTK finding one off the damage from the Maelstrom.
I think there's many things.
What
you
is
could,
this magic screen?
Yeah, I think there's a lot you can do that really blow their minds here, but TTK going to be taken down. Collusion out. Ultimate going to be invested. Zelanda, however, up and over the top, just completely unfocused. Aramori both going to be taken down. Supportless now here on the side of Sentinels. Solid volley. As Zelanda comes up with yet another elimination. And now it's going to take them down to under a minute.
I mean, they're looking great at Kilios. I mean, they finally stabilized here. Looking very good after a very good second defense as well. I mean, it's pretty much last fight territory for Sentinels outside of using a portal to the recontest. No ults in the bank for Sentinels either. So, I mean, pretty much for 100 Thieves, I imagine they're just going to try to draw it out. Look for a Strangling Prison, knowing that there's not going to be strategy ult just yet. They have to know to go first, though, as well. They need to be ult tracking this because Vinny, I mean, there's no way he doesn't know.
SJP getting closer and closer to that fate. As the prison does get sent there from Vinny. Yeah, Hogs now his gets a huge grab here onto the plates of 100 Thieves as they desperately try to sustain SGP, though. He's alive, keeps the team in the mix, and now they have two support ultimates left to go here for the side of 100 Thieves, but they don't pull the trigger fast enough. They double stack him with TTK. He's already been eliminated. Does become a little bit more difficult to try to assault in towards this Invisible Woman ultimate, but it will expire. No support ultimate now to speak of. Terra desperately trying to make something happen, but Kurova able to find Vinny. Now going to be taken down. Space opened up. Sentinels here on the final stretch. 5 seconds remaining. 100 Thieves. Can they find the stability here? Get back in for this defensive card. Getting closer and closer. Overtime going to be forced out. TTK focus fired. Taken down. Super Gomez able to find the kill. The Meteor M still in the back pocket. Ball gets raised. Eye of Agamotto now online as well here for Kalush to just try to put the final nail in the coffin. Meteor seeking target. Slaps it down. Vinny going to be the focus. Going to be the kill. As Zelanda up and over the top. It's raining down. Looking for some eliminations. Gets the supports over onto the side. Cannot get the eliminations there, though. Cannot find those kills where they so badly needed them. And in the end, it will be Sentinels making it to the end of Midtown. No time left in the bank, so we go to extra innings, a minute apiece.
And that cap just entirely triggered off the back that Vinny had the Strangling Prison. No strategy results alive for Sentinels. Didn't find anything. The value completely mitigated. Hogs doing a great job to wall off some of the damage. The force physics as well. Just continue to get value. I mean, Vinny then gets caught later again by the force physics from Kurova, drawing them in. Because remember, you can push, you can pull. Wax on, wax off. And I think right there, that was the wax off scenario, bringing Vinny back in. And realistically, just showing again, Sentinels has it. Just because 100 Thieves are looking good, Sentinels is not a team to be underestimated. Thank you, Puckett. Thank you. I agree. Yeah, we're very, very.
I was going to ask
there.
If we get a full hold here on both sides, a win counts as a loss, right? We get more games from these two teams.
Yeah,
I would say they think a loss counts as a loss on their side. On us, on our
side. A draw counts as a loss, right? A tie.
Yeah, I mean a tie. I mean, I think a draw would not count as a loss theoretically. It would count.
It's not a win, though.
No, it's not a win.
First to 3 wins, right?
It is.
All right, I'll let Tom Pop sort that one out. It's $1,000 on the line. 100 Thieves, Sentinels, overtime. Go.
It's an extension, let's say. It's just an extension of the action.
It's true.
But payload maps, draws, you know, not expecting to see one of those here.
Sentinel's going to do a very aggressive bunker here, Seth. You can see here that they're just going to try to like play very tight on the corner, use all these walls to mitigate some of the damage. They just have to be careful with the flanks because there is going to be a door on the right side as well.
Oh, Hogs out into the open, taken low, not taken down. Still eating quite a bit of damage, so has to tuck back around the corner here inside of the building just to try to stay safe. Super Gomez, Kaluj, all of them taking so much damage. It's going to be TTK to find the first kill here in this overtime. Hogs now going to be taken down as well. This defense here from Sentinels, the all-in with the triple Vanguard falls to the wayside as 100 Thieves just absolutely brute force their way through the Sentinels line. And now with 18 seconds remaining, an immense amount of space opened up. Good distance going to be found here in 100 Thieves with an opportunity to try to get this cap.
That's the downside of being a really, really aggressive forward hold here on Midtown is that, yes, you can bunker there, but if you lose kind of early, yeah, you're going to be an OT fight regardless because you only have a minute, and now you've given a lot of ults to 100 Thieves and a lot of cap time too.
Good amount of space here. Vinny at Root Prison online. Down to half. When does he pull the trigger is going to be the question. For now, it's going to be Kurova starting things off, and Vinny gets taken down. The ult not going to be seen, at least not yet. A freeze there on the Delena, able to go ahead and wait that one out. Agamotto pushing forward here. TTK looking for the setup. Kaluj gets taken down. Hogs going to be traded out as well. Harvey coming away with that elimination. 100 Thieves so very close to being able to get the cap and continue extending forward with Super Gomez getting taken down. It looks like it's going to happen. Terra starting to go absolutely crazy. Comes away with 2 kills, and this push continues.
And having the magic alive there for the chase down those late fights, so important. Using the portals, the stepping disc, just chase him down. I thought the fight was almost over there because Harvey just not able to get the invisible boundary up in time to save Vinny, but stay alive. Huge Agamotto from TTK. And this is an amazing scenario for 100 Thieves to get this far on a minute, and they still hold on to a lot of ults.
Enemy in front of us.
Here's the pressure. Pressure coming out, Seth. I mean, they have to be aware of the flank here as well because there's a lot of ults on the board, and you see there's Delena on the flank, looking for the long flank again. Gonna win.
Yep, Delena able to come away with that one. Now can just turn the sights back over here, over towards the cart. That got us. That's still at the ready. SJP keeping people sustained as best as humanly possible, but Super Gomez still able to come away with one. Finds that kill. HP bars falling low on the side of Sentinels, but now sustained as they double stack the ultimates. Got us to death here from above, just raining down the shot. Desperately trying to find a kill. Finds one. Kurova dead. Aramori on the floor. 100 Thieves continuing. People staying alive. The players not falling. They stay in this. The push continues. So once again, Harvey just able to go ahead and help stabilize these HP bars, get even closer to the next ultimate. 100 Thieves, how far can they continue with this OT?
I mean, Delena, you gotta put a stop to this. You gotta put a stop to this. Right, Amazing, historically so good, but Delena just, I mean, realistically, just making all the openings, falling up there with the Agamotto 2 with the Gods of Death, as 100 Thieves keep the push going, and they're gonna have another boundary for Harvey. They're gonna have another Strangling Prison soon. Why Amazing needs to make something happen here. Sentinels in general, but I mean, there's a lot of, and Why Amazing down again. Delena just out, just walking over him.
Just delivering on all fronts when they so desperately need them to. Delena is coming up huge, looking for Amori there as well. Almost finds that kill. Terra at the same time going to be taken down. Hogs able to find one, but then gets traded out. Harvey kills that one back. The ultimate still online. SJP nearly there with another one as Delena delivers another final blow. Kaluj going to be taken down. Delena going off onto the flank once again, just hunting, looking for Amazing.
TTK
here out in front of the spawn.
As well. That's so crucial. That's so crucial here, Achilles, because you can just get the early scout, be able to put some pressure on them very early, and then by the time this fight happens again, Delena's about to have another Goddess of Death, and Why Amazing hasn't even a chance to use one.
Hasn't been given any kind of opportunity, but 100 Thieves looking for the full push here to the end in overtime. This would be devastating to the side of Sentinels. It already is, frankly, just given that they started with a minute. And there's the stun, there's the shot. Amazing going to be taken down once again. Delena coming away huge with that elimination. Another Goddess of Death nearly online. Ult's going to be layered in. Kalush goes forward. Agamotto looking for the stuns, looking for the kills, but SJP keeping everybody sustained here. And as if it 2 worlds ends up coming through. Terra looking to rejoin, sprinting back as quickly as humanly possible as the Root Prison going to be sent out. Vinny gathering them up, getting the cluster together, but Delena unable to find the kills quite just yet. Shot over to the side, trying to predict the movements here, trying to get that shot in, trying to get that damage across to find the pick, but cannot. Amazing now looking to shove them back. Overtime going to start bleeding out. Just a sliver remaining if 100 Thieves clear the cart at all. This is going to be the hold here from the side of Sentinels, but Vinny finding one. Kalu's going to be taking down the respawn right here in front. Delena swapping over towards that Star Lord as Terra goes in. Ultimate at the ready, popped. SJP going to be taken down. The heel's going to be cut down. As Harvey, the ultimate nearly online. Can they get it in time to try to sustain the team? Looks like the answer is going to be no. Sends it in desperation, but ultimately meets their demise. The overtime should bleed out from here as Vinny will fall, but my God, what an effort from 100 Thieves on this push. You could say, yeah, Sentinels, they finally do it. They stop the cart, but good God, the amount of distance with just a minute to start. 100 Thieves pulling off a miracle here on Midtown.
You'll need a top.
How's your voice doing over there? Voice doing okay over there? Yeah, long OTs, long, very long fights here. But overall, I mean, 100 Thieves getting essentially close to a full cap with a minute. That's a worst case scenario. The only thing slightly worse is getting the actual full cap. And they just struggled so much to remove Vinny from the point there at the end. Luckily there, they have the spawns. They're coming back. There wasn't a lot of value gone from Delina. Finally, on that Goddess of Death, wasn't able to get a pick. Removing a lot of that damage very early in that fight, which was a godsend for Sentinels. So there is a chance. There is a chance, but to make it that far, I mean, Sentinels fans, if you're part of the Sin City, you have to be, I mean, right now, you better be paying your taxes. Like, they need everything they get for the government services for Sin City. I mean, they need help. You know, there's a general election, like, something needs to be done here because they are on the edge for sure.
They don't understand.
Yeah, need to re-bolster the infrastructure here a little bit, it would seem. Need a fast rail line straight to the end of this map. But it looks like Sentinel's not going to be changing it up, still just going to be sticking with the triple Vanguard.
4, 3.
You have to worry, given how Delena has been performing and has been widely having Amazing's number, that if that continues, just not going to have the damage output to really get this push going. And already Delena waiting on that left-hand side here from the attacker's perspective to try to go for the flank. Does get spotted out.
Ooh. I mean, the good spot and the force physics, but they're able to find Delena. I mean, they are way back there. As Terra, though, Terra actually getting the pick. That's what they're trying to chase down. Gonna take down Aramori. Sure, gonna get the late elimination there, but slowing down Sentinels a lot, and it gives 100 Thieves a chance to at least contest a bit longer because, I mean, they have enough muscle. They have enough sustain.
But it's already more than half the time bank gone. 20 seconds now remaining here in the time bank, and Sen need to basically complete the entire map in one fell swoop, in one little push. Kalush is able to find one. Vinny going to be taken down. A solid start here that they desperately need. Because Hogs only builds up towards that root prison here. Kalush getting tagged up down to about half. Hogs similarly eating a bit of damage, but Kalush is able to come out on top. TPK going to be on the floor. Damage being suffered. Super Gomez is able to find one as Harvey will fall. Terra answers back another elimination. Doesn't have that online quite just yet, and some solid staggers in the back end as the Lena will fall. Means that Sentinels have a good amount of space opened up, but TTK alive can set up here for the re-aggression onto the card.
Absolutely crucial there from Aramori to get that absolute zero with the wall off from Hogs. It's now the portal. Either it just happened, but the ult banks, I mean, relatively equivalent, honestly. They're going to have a lot of ults coming up in this fight. As you see, there's a strangling prison. Visible boundaries used for both sides. Now we're just waiting to see, can anyone get caught?
The TTK shoved away. Agamotto, I don't believe it's going to connect onto too many there at all, as Kalush now goes in with his own. Hit in, they're looking for Vinny, trying to just burst it down this route, and they're able to do so. SJP not there in position to try to get the save. Into the back line, though, goes Terra, swinging the sword, looking for some eliminations, bouncing through the portals. Goes up and over the top, goes TTK, just pulling back here for the moment. Goddess of Death out, Delena able to find a second kill. Karova going to be taken down, and it's just death from above. Amazing finally able to put an end to this one. Finds that kill, but I think the damage has been dealt. 100 Thieves. Just too much sustain.
I mean, TTK is just sitting here. This one. They need to remove TTK. They need to remove TTK. They have to. They're just got to sit here and continue to fight. There's so much damage. TTK finding another, getting constantly pocketed, and because of those picks from Delena, they stay in it and never doubt the value of the Doctor Strange Achilles, because Doctor Strange does so much damage. The map going the way of 100 Thieves.
And that's got to be a bit of a kick in the gut there for Sentinels. Their map pick and a solid start. You know, they deny. You know, they deny a time bank. They can't stop the push all the way to the end. They can't get themselves that win condition. But then they surrender so much space, just conceded over. 100 Thieves now way out in front, looking to just sweep their way to that $1,000 prize pool.
Console gamers, best gamers have asked. You got to admit it, right?
No, I don't have to admit it, but I will say it's very impressive. I mean, you don't really see it too often that someone's playing on console getting this much value. And we've got to the part of the night where now I'm going to start getting shadows from my PC screens.
You look good.
No lighting.
You look great. Park Ranger of Vast in full force tonight.
This is not what a park ranger. I'm looking like I'd be at a bowling alley right now. This is not a park ranger. It's not a park ranger.
That's your casual summer fit. You know, I respect it. All right, can we take a look here at some of the highlights of Achilles? I have a feeling chat might be onto something. Triple tank without triple support seems like a bad idea, especially if they have a Hela who is out shooting your Hela with the help of Terra just running around on Star-Lord. 100 Thieves having the edge comp-wise seemed to be the difference, but is there any individual that stood out to you throughout this game?
I mean, I'd be remiss to not just say Delena.
Okay.
They continue to be absolutely insane, finding value pretty much across the board. I mean, Amazing had some good volleys to answer back, was able to get, this catch here in particular, tries to go for the aggression. Delena does get sacked down, but overall across the board, the neutral fighting, the flank management from Delena, as well as just value out of the Goddess of Death, was just so much cleaner. And when you are fully investing in with this triple Vanguard, you have to have Amazing delivering in the fashion that they were able to do last week, which got Sentinels the championship.
Big shout out to everyone in the chat.
Insane, but
sorry, we just hit a big donation. We are now 14 away from 100. It's our first day of subs on the channel. You guys have been loud. You have been awesome in the chat all match long. And we're guaranteed at least one more game. Avast, Sentinels, can you convince them not to run triple Vanguard and maybe let Super Gomez run Duelist?
Yeah, let me have a talk with Crimzo. Let me have a talk with them. We'll sit down. We'll see what we can do. Sentinels fans,
maybe ban Hela?
Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but Sentinels fans, if you want us to have that talk, Crimzo, close personal friend, you're gonna have to sub some more. Unfortunately, we're gonna be buying that victory.
14 more subs, and we will make a call.
We're buying that victory, but I think overall, it's the triple Vanguard. You see the moments. It's strong. It's not a bad comp. It's just falling behind a bit. And honestly, I think if they're against anyone other than Delena on Hela, they might be winning here, but Delena is just constantly removing one of the largest sources of damage for Sentinels by removing Amazing, by taking control of the flanks, and that's just something that can't happen. You can't lose that solo duelist. So realistically, yes, the triple Vanguard, the triple Vanguard's not getting the value they need, but they also just can't be losing their only duelist consistently.
If you have found this show, welcome to the greatest Marvel Rivals esports product ever created by the people who aren't necessarily officially affiliated with Marvel or Marvel Rivals. We're just a bunch of casters, some production nerds who love putting on a great show. So welcome into the stream, everybody. This is only our second week. This is our second NA Championship broadcast. Sentinels were able to defend their title. It was a good matchup last week, but now we have a new challenger, 100 Thieves, looking on a different level, at least through maps 1 and 2. Avast, tell me the story. How do we get to the game 5?
The story here is, if you're going to keep playing triple Vanguard, you gotta hope that there's better duels going your way for the side of Amazing. And also in general, just you can't be... what's so important too is that getting caught, right? We see in one of the highlight packages from the previous map, Kaluj goes for the Eye of Agamotto, gets stunned, loses that ult. Those sort of mistakes, especially when you're lacking a lot of the damage on the field from not having a second duelist, your ults are going to drive a lot of that value there, and that can't be happening either. So I really think for Sentinels, they need to tighten up a little bit. They can't be losing those duels. Other than that, it's close. It was really close. Midtown could have theoretically gone another way. That fight could have gone another way. It's just they're losing some of those really, really crucial duels right now. So right now, you just got to pray. You got to believe, if you're a Sentinels fan, you got to believe. 100 Thieves, you guys are sitting pretty right now. You can just be chilling comparatively.
Kilios, what do you see coming our way?
What I'm afraid is that we just see the same bans coming through. I think that there has to be a pivot here for Sentinels. There have to be a change up. I know that Amazing loves playing this Hela, and again, was able to win the championship last week, kind of off the back of their play on that Hela. But I think you might just have to sack it to get it out of the hands of 100 Thieves, because right now it's not going your way. I think going back to playing the double duelist, something like that, just get Gomez back on the Star-Lord. I think that, if you want to try to take that fight, you might be in a good position. So that's what I'm kind of hoping to see here. I'm hoping to see a rally back from Sentinels. I don't want to see this this money match end up just going the way of a 3-0 sweep. I got no skin in the game. I'm not wearing a 100 Thieves jacket like you are, Bucket. I don't care who wins this series in the end, but I would like to see just a bit more tight-knit competition between these two. Because, yeah, Midtown was exciting, but you don't want to be seeing the 3-0 scoreline. You don't want to have to explain to people who didn't watch, oh, well, it doesn't tell the whole story. You want to be able to see that 3-2 and be like, man, it was a gigabanger.
Full disclosure, I will wear your company brand on camera. All you have to do is send me free wardrobe to my house. My wife will put it in my closet. You're going to end up on stream eventually. Avast, we're jumping in to what could be the final game. And looking in the past, Sentinels have done the same thing over and over. They banned the Wolverine. They banned the Winter Soldier. Am I crazy for thinking maybe it's time to stop my opponent from playing their best characters instead of worrying about the comp that's going to be used against me?
I think what you have to consider, what if they do it a third time? Maybe this time is going to be the one that's going to work. I honestly, if Sentinels really believes in this comp, you can't tell them no. Like, this is all they've been practicing. Like, they must truly be like, this is going to be our win condition. Like, we're not going to win elsewise. We haven't practiced enough. I will say, just on a logical angle, like, clearly the bans aren't working. Clearly something isn't going your way. Maybe it's time to make a swap. Try to play 2-2-2, maybe even try to play triple. If you want us to get away from triple Vanguard, play triple strategist even. But the thing is, 100 Thieves typically been on top of that, making sure to remove Loki, to remove also the Adam Warlock, and typically Adam Warlock very crucial for like a triple strategist composition. So they're on top of that either way. So they could be the time for the swap. And this is the problem when you practice on one comp for a really long time and you're like, this is how we're gonna win. And we won the previous NA Rivals Fight Night before, playing a lot of triple Vanguard. Now you run into the wall, you have to make the adjustment on the fly. And it's a lot to ask for teams that have been practicing and playing one particular way to make that swap.
Chat, thank you for your patience. We had one slippery pickle sneak into the lobby. We found them. We removed their Steam ID from our lobby. We are now moving forward with observers and players only. How bored do you have to be, Achilles, to just be typing in random passwords trying to jump into lobbies?
The esports equivalent of trying to just like, I guess I should say the online equivalent of trying to like rush a stage so you can try to like hug your favorite artist or whatever before you get tackled by security and beaten to a pulp. So
totally worth, yeah.
Sure. What? Congratulations, you made it to the lobby.
In the same lobby as the Sentinels and 100 Thieves ones. Here we go. The game is underway. Let's jump into the bans. Avast and Loki is out once again.
They love getting rid of the Loki. I mean, it's just, and it's a staple of the majority of a comp. So I think for if you're 100 Thieves, you're happy to get rid of it.
There we go.
There it is, a group ban. No more Vinny on him. They finally said, let's take him off it. He's been a menace on it, and they're going to protect the thing. So clearly going to be a swap of some sort coming out there.
It's brawling time, and you will see the Wolverine on the other side. Okay. Now it gets fun.
Wasn't the cleanest in the first series, but we only got to see the Wolverine for a quick little period of time, so I think it's probably not going to be a repeat of what we had seen from the opening set.
Target the hell. Get rid of her. You got one left.
Man. I mean, there's no triple strategist for sure if Adam Warlock is not going to be played.
Yeah,
and this could be the hell. I mean, they've targeted the bans. Yeah.
Thank you for
this
listening.
is what we want to see.
I'm way less frustrated right now.
How do they play?
I'm gonna crash.
That's the question.
And then I'm gonna become a pro coach of a Marvel Rivals team. So if you got a squad, you need a big name to sign you. I got all the connections. We got the place to play. This time around, though, 100 Thieves Sentinel, we're going to the path of Vast. Say it properly.
Yggdrasil.
Nailed it.
Yggdrasil path. I've always been saying it properly. You've been gaslighting saying I've always been doing it.
Like anybody who's played Valheim knows how to say Yggdrasil.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very good point.
Who's played Valheim?
Like so many people?
A lot. Most people, probably.
I mean, I don't know about most. Most would include billions of people, to be fair.
That's a lot of people.
Their game sales have been incredible.
Back to this match. I was told the players are considering loading in 5, 4, 3, 2. Bam! We're here.
Alrighty. Well, thank you very much, Puckett. And let's see what we do have. We actually haven't, I was going to say one of the things we haven't gotten to see too much is actually just the Namor and Luna Snow combination. So, and we see that right now here in the hands of 100 Thieves.
Now this, see, I wasn't expecting this because I've seen a lot of teams play like Magneto thing to mitigate Wolverine value because you have the damage reduction, you can reduce the movement with the anti-sweet charge, and you have the bubbles, but they're still gonna play the triple Vanguard just this time with the thing. Just putting the thing in instead of, I mean, it's really interesting to me that they're really attached to the triple Vanguard. They just must love the comp.
Saying Magneto thing makes it seem like you just don't know what you're talking about. But
Yeah.
All right, well, Vinny, here on the Venom, going to be taken down off the rip. It's Kalush finding a solid opening kill. And swiping across here. Terra going to break down Hogs as much as possible, but obviously Hogs widely just shrugging off that damage. Push back up to full HP, frozen for a moment, but quick little exit back over here. And for now, the Chariot going to be locked in position. Full collection as okay in around the back
line here.
Lena again just flanking, and that's just gonna be 2 kills as both supports end up getting taken down. And
this is also the problem
open
into the Namor, Achilleos, especially on this map, is that Namor, you're going to be constantly using that Blessings of the Deep, which is the bubble, to get up to high ground, to look for the flanks. Yggdrasil Path in particular is a map that's defined by taking some high ground advantages, looking for flanks, and Namor is really good at that, because not only is he mobile, but he does so much damage with the monster spawn, and is really, really tanky too.
Well, attempt here at the recontest to try to just stop this cap from coming through. Terra going to be taken low, but not going to be taken down. Still stays alive, all nearly online. Harvey investing the ultimate here for the moment. As Meteor M not going to find much there from Super Gomez, and Delena comes away with another one. Once again, Armori going to be the target focus as Delena comes up with that opening pick. Finds Super Gomez here on the back end. It seems like it's just going to be a minor time buy here for Sentinels, but in the end, 100 Thieves get the cap. The door is open, and they have 4.5 minutes now for the next stretch.
And what I really love too about the 100 Thieves comp in particular is that when you're also playing Venom here, Venom's able to position, set up dives in the backline along with Delena, and additionally is also just extremely survivable. So like, can just sit, drop the symbiotic resistance, and make sure that everyone's looking at him for a really long time, letting Delena, give Delena the option to come in, forcing the cooldown so Terra can come just find one. And there's going to be the Feast of Abyss. And remember, that does a lot of damage because it's congruent to 50% of your total health. So the more health you have, the more damage it does. Though it's still getting burned.
It does a lot. Not going to be able to find any kills at the back end of that one, but does give Sentinels some pause here as they look to try to reaggress. Here I'm out here from TTK, sending it down. Widely going to be blocked out, though, so not too much damage nor a kill going to be found. Harvey tagged up. Stays alive here for the moment. Terra able to stay alive, and once again, dude, Delena is just an absolute menace that needs to be dealt with. 3 kills here in the fight. Kalush only able to peel 1 back as TTK will fall, but 100 Thieves don't give a damn about that because they continue pushing onward.
And you have to continue to wonder, like, where, like, what the triple Vanguard here is clearly having issues. Super Gamma is obviously talented at it. Hog's obviously great on the thing, but they're just not getting any value. They're going to go here for the recontest. The instant charge coming on in. There's going to be both strategy ults pop for either side. But just watch out for the Hornet Proteus coming on through because they can burn through some of these ults.
Yeah, I mean, Harvey just greets them there with the ult. There's the Hornet Proteus now going to be infested. Kill's not going to be found at the back of that one. Some decent stability here from the side of Sentinels, but Aramori's ult now going to be expiring, and that's when the kills are found. Kalush, Super Gomez, both going to be taken down. 2 of your Vanguards immediately lost, as Hogs will be the last one standing, and not for very long. Delena, again, another triple in the fight. 100 Thieves. They're starting to run away with this one here, Avast.
And the longer the fights run, too, Achilleos, when you look at Terra on the Wolverine, Wolverine is also a really survivable DPS as well, very survivable duelist. Oh, yeah. And once the strategy ults get popped, remember, he's doing damage based on the percentage of the ult. He has the last stand. So once all the cooldowns, once all the ults are gone, I mean, Terra is just able to come on in and get 1, get 2, and just remain a menace here on the point because they've used so much to just stay in the fight.
Well, Caster Currency does die off the rip.
That's okay. That's fine.
Quick to respawn, though. Sentinels desperately trying to take some forward space. Amazing has the pop here on the ultimate. The Star-Lord layering in some damage, but not going to be finding any kills. Goes back over, looking for this Namor, and Delena will get taken down, and that's going to be pretty much your #1 target here if you are Sentinels on this defense. I have Agamotto, though, on the drop-in. TTK get the sun across on the multiple players, but kill's not going to be found. Terra once again going to be sent back to the respawn room, cycling these duelists here, it would seem, as Vinny cannot stay alive, and finally Sentinels find some semblance of control of this Chariot.
And this particular point, last point, is probably going to be one of the best situations for them here in the Path of Yggdrasil because there's very narrow Hogs here on the thing can be doing a lot of clean damage with stone haymakers. They have options to just like block, pretty much block. Is there already a lot of damage trying to find the isolation. They're going to force an early fade with World's Ever Sentinels.
I have Agamotto out here from Kaluj in the lock-up position, and Hog's able to just get in on top of Terra. So once again, kill going to be found. Well gets sent. Armori going to be hitting the floor there. Super Gomez also gets taken down, and it's a committed here from Karova, but multiple players on their team end up getting lost. 3 kills going to be found now, looking for a little bit more as our amazing will get picked apart. And in the end, 100 Thieves able to go ahead and turn the tides here on this fight, open up a little bit more space to get this payload moving once again.
And a lot of the mitigation here and a lot of the sustain for these fights are going to be coming in from Hogs here because he has the team up, he has the bonus health generation, and just so much cleave here on the point to just set up the space to force ults for Rymazing to be able to pop the Galactic Legend. Is Terra looking to make it up, trying to find the abduction, not going to find one with the Pharaoh Leap, going to get pushed off instead, but still holding on to the last stand. Sentinel's trying to fight for the high ground.
Unable to find that pin. Rymazing once again going out. Galactic Legend going to be popped, just looking to try to layer in this damage, but not able to find too much there. Harvey keeps the team sustained here for the moment. The dive in once again there from Terra. Ult still in the back pocket. Gonna be some neutral chip fighting here over this final corner. As they try to break through TTK, that Eye of Agamotto at the ready. See when he tries to go for it, but it's gonna be Terra just diving into the Mac line. Just absolutely eviscerating 4 targets as there's the team wipe. There's the push to completion. 100 Thieves slowed up a bit here on the final stretch, but they make it to the end of the path with 1:22.
Yeah, finishing with time in the bank over a minute is huge for Path of Yggdrasil. And this is the issue again, where we're looking at the triple Vanguard comp. It's like, okay, you have a lot of meat on the point. You have a lot of sustain, but Wolverine don't care. Wolverine does not care. Wolverine's just going to shred, build up the Berserker's Rage, go for a last stand, especially if you don't have any strategy ults. And even if you do, you can get caught by that. Just immediately stunned. And then they're just going to burst you through because of that percentage health and damage that's being done. And I think this is just a problem again, where if you're going to play the triple Vanguard, you need to have some sort of proactive options because Wolverine's eventually just going to chew through you.
I mean, we just got the perfect example of it there at the end. I mean, this goes to show why it had been getting banned away in the previous 2 maps. Terra, mentioned that in the opening series versus FlyQuest only showed it once, didn't have the best performance. This clearly, just showing that was a fluke. That was not the normal level of Wolverine that we can expect from him. And good God, he just absolutely destroyed them on that final push. But aside from that, I think we again have to give credit over to Delena, who was kind of the regular fragger here for the team.
And I mean, they understand their role so well. They're making sure to just constantly fight for the flanks, leverage Namor, especially with the Luna Snow team up there for the Frozen Spawn, to be an absolute menace on the backlines and force the strategist, force some of the squishier targets to turn for him. And every time they turn for them, guess what? That's when the aggression is going to come in for 100 Thieves. That's 100 Thieves still keeping the same composition.
Change up. Super Gomez going over here onto the Winter Soldier. So Bucky in play.
2 duelists! They've done it! They've done it, Achilleos! 2 duelists! They're having the Namor, they're having Super Gomez. They're going to have a little bit more options now to actually just remove Delena off there. And they're already just so much damage here on the field. And what a hook!
Yeah, I mean, look at Vinny. Just that nothing but shields remaining there on the HP bar. Doesn't need to get some DLC there from the supports. And it looks like we'll be able to do so. Terra going to be taken down. Amazing. Going to bring the Namor into play. Comes away with that kill. Frozen up here for the moment, but widely, a lot of space bought from the side of Sentinels as they get closer to this point A capture. Delena trying to go on a flank here around the back, but Kaluj just sticking to him like glue, just trying to make sure that this Namor does not get away with murder. Amazing at the same time, though, able to find SJP, able to find Harvey. 2 critical kills, no heals available now under Thieves, and that is just going to be them going ahead and spiraling things out of control on the push. And getting the cap on A in all likelihood.
And I'm absolutely trying here to remind everyone that, like, yes, 2 duelists immediately worked, right? But doesn't mean the triple Vanguard was bad. Doesn't mean that it wasn't working in scrims and things like that for Sentinels. But, like, you just see the immediate difference. Having so much more pressure on the flanks, forcing Terra and Delena to not be able to just go to your backline consistently. And both Winter Soldier and Namor are great at shredding through a lot of damage and chunking down a lot of damage, especially with the team-ups. As now they're going to make it here onto second. Super Gomez finding Terra immediately because there's a reason
Terra.
Winter Soldier's a permapick. You just do so much damage still.
Yeah, so much damage, so much displacement. It's all in all a huge pick here for the squads. Amazing, able to come away under pressure with that 1 kill, but then he does do well to go ahead and trade it back very quickly. TTK having to backpedal back around the final corner now. There's quite a bit of space having to be given up. Vinny goes in, ult going to be popped here, just looking to try to chunk up these players on the side of Sentinels, but Sustain is going to be found as Kurova goes ahead, invests the ultimate. They're on the swap, however, does come in, Winter Soldier for himself. Picks off Calusto, front line going to be broken down just a bit, and now has that Kraken online. As you're at the ready,
coming in, gets 2.
But yep, right, Amazing comes away with 2 kills off the back of the ult. Both supports just clustered together, and the whale absolutely flattens them.
I mean, and this is why also Namor, a really great pick when you're dealing just in general, because you have the option to burst through some of these strategies. Even with the boundary up for Harvey, doesn't really matter. You can burst through that. Fate of both worlds, if it was me for SJP, still would have been able to be on that as Delina looking to fight for this flank. Sentinels keeping the momentum going and looking a lot better here on the tool duelist, honestly. Just looking a lot more alive, just keeping the tempo up.
And you know what? Look, maybe these will be alleviated if this ends up getting extended and we don't see a 3-0, but I have to be a little bit frustrated for the moment because we could have been seeing this the entire time. Kaluj at the same time, though, goes ahead, sends the Meteor M, just barrel stuffs Terra with it, absolutely crushes him to death. And with 2 kills in their favorite, Sentinels to try to get this cart pushed forward in towards B, get that extra little bit of time bank bump up. Now will be held at bay, but now look to reaggress off the back of Pogs because they're trying to run them down. Comes across TDK, separated away from the support. They're clustered here in the side room. Ends up falling to the wayside. Vinny just trying to buy some time here, buy some space for the rest of the team, but he himself falling low. Shielding going to be coming through. Pops the ultimate here to try to turn the tides of the fight. Hogs Amazing, both going to be taken down to lane, able to find Super Gomez, and Kalush falling as well. Solid response. 100 Thieves scraping by with this team fight victory. They stop Sentinels from getting the cap.
Oh, really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. Great for 100 Thieves, but really unfortunate for Sentinels. I mean, they thought they were going to get the cap there. They chased really deep. Hogs looking for the split onto the back line. Goes so deep, goes so low that they aren't able to stay alive for the retake test that occurs there. And now Sentinels having to make the long trek back. They are going to have some ults in the bank, so definitely very winnable for the upcoming fight. But it's just already like 30, 40 seconds off the clock just to make it back to the point to attack.
Yeah, in a minute 22, what they're trying to beat, if they can get towards the end of the map, they'll get that extra minute and a half to get this next little cap here. Walls respawning. Eye of Agamotto available here for TTK. As Kurova going to go ahead, pulls the trigger first and foremost, and there's the freeze, getting the interrupt, and TTK just going to be stunned out. Ult now layered in, Aramori keeping everybody alive here at the Fate of Two Worlds. As Terra desperately looking to try to get a pull here, try to isolate a target, get him out of that healing field, but cannot. TTK going to be taken down to Super Gomez, able to find 1 SJP, a little bit too late to keep the tank alive in the fight with their ult of their own. As Kraken not going to be finding too much here as everybody just clustered up into the side room, things getting chaotic, and Clues being caught up in the crossfire, ends up getting taken down. The cart's still not advancing forward, still rolling back. In fact, Sentinels have not been able to regain full control. Terra on the reaggress, finding 1, finding 2. Gomez, Aramori, both going to be taken down. Once again, Sentinel's going to be forced to go for this reset. Stagger's still going to be suffered here on the back end as Hogs ends up falling. And now things start being very concerning for Sentinels as there's just a minute remaining.
And again, just Vinny on the Venom, making sure to get a lot of value from the Feast of the Abyss, taking a lot of the health low, and Delina just pressuring the main at the same time while that fight was happening in the flank, taking a lot of the pressure off 100 Thieves. And last fight here for Sentinels, about to have some ults in the bank. 100 Thieves controlling these positions. Vinny looking to set up and engage, try to force some cooldowns as Delina also probably going to look to try to follow up, drop a Hornet Proteus, just find 1 through likely the invisible boundary of Harvey.
Already, the chances of being able to close this out with a larger time bank pretty much gone here for Sentinels. They need to get this cap on B. They need to get to the end of the map to try to extend this further, to stop this from going the way of 100 Thieves. Kraken Hughes not finding much of anything there at Super Gomez, but does have a little bit of an isolation there on the Vinny, but he just goes ahead, swoops back around, swinging in, joining with the rest of the team, getting top back up. Kraken out pop there from Terra, looking for some kills. The whale into the back, the stun goes the cross.
For Delina.
It's going to be clipped, but the kill's not going to be found, and that is just going to be Delina coming up absolutely monstrous. 3 kills found, a team wipe across the board. Sentinels knocked out of the park, knocked out of the map, and out of the series. 100 Thieves 3-0. They will be now claiming the championship, claiming the prize for themselves here in week 2 of NA Fight Night.
And Delina, until the very end, being the difference maker here. And they did exactly what I was thinking they were going to do. Sit there, take the duels, try to force the invisible boundary, and drop the Horn of Proteus, and it just burns through that strategist ult. And Delina just being an absolute monster during this series. And overall, so was the entirety of the 100 Thieves roster. And coming in, new champions here for Rivals Fight Night. And there was a lot of hype behind this roster, and I feel really vindicated with saying, yeah, I feel really good about this team coming in. They look so strong under a previous name. We're over here to the 100 Thieves organization. And Sentinels, though they lost 3-0, Achilles, I have to think that they finally made some adjustments at the end where there's gonna be hope for them long term. There is gonna be hope for them long term. They love the triple Vanguard, but they can play double duelist. They really can.
Sure, and again, I was kind of talking about it mid-map there when they were looking really strong, when they're going on that push, trying to get over towards that point B. That frustration of seeing what they were able to put up. Obviously, yeah, it still doesn't get them the win. It was good stability found from 100 Thieves in the end to be able to close it out and get this 3-0. But that opening firepower that we were getting from Gomez, from Raimazing, it's like this. We could have been seeing this whole series throughout. That Namor and Luna combination was always available. The team was never taken away. It was never banned out. We could have been seeing that this whole way throughout. It wasn't played. They trusted the triple Vanguard, and unfortunately here for Sentinels, I think it's going to be back to the drawing board to try to get a crack at maybe next week. But for 100 Thieves, it's week 2. There's going to be a lot of turbulence in the opening weeks of this tournament series, but congratulations to them becoming the second champions.
This is the rematch in NA. Everybody gets it, but it's a few maps shorter than what we were hoping for. 100 Thieves and Sentinels going at it tonight. Shout out to FlyQuest as well, our opening match challengers. But 100 Thieves, just on another level, it seems, when it comes to their play style. Let's talk a little bit about Vinny, though, because Avast, you and I have watched a lot of Vanguard play. Vinny stands out. Nevik stands out when I think about players over in Europe. But Vinny may be the most exciting DPS dealing Vanguard that we have watched on Rivals Fight Night.
Definitely continue with that spot of someone that is a difference maker in terms of just the raw damage output they put out, in terms of also their understanding of their kit, getting value from the utility level as well, because sometimes you see that breakdown, it's like, oh, I'm like the utility Vanguard, right? Like I'm like really good at understanding the game. I'm not necessarily doing a ton of damage. And then also you have the ones that are not only understanding their kit, but doing an incredible amount of damage while doing it. And Vinny definitely fits that bill, especially on the group, but also even on the Venom. I mean, I think the Venom was played excellently. Yeah. Even on that last fight, the Kraken impact went out from Super Gomez to try to go on Vinny to get the coin effect on them, and it just missed because he's running on the wall. He's just trying to run away. He's just really, really mobile and knows during that time, like, they're going to be targeting me. I need to get some ults out, and also I know they can't catch me. I'm just going to go back to the back line afterwards.
We've got a lot more show to go. Sorry to cut you off there, Vast. Before you all leave the chat, do us a favor. Hit that follow. If you're over on YouTube, slam that subscribe. If you are on Twitter, hit the follow there as well. We're live every Thursday, and we're not done breaking this one down. So, Achilles, let's talk a little bit about what you saw in this series. And as we go over the highlights, was it easy to choose an MVP?
I think so, yeah. I kind of across the board, across these 3 maps played, there was one that really stood out for me. That was Delana. But I think that you could realistically look at pretty much everybody on this roster. They all had their moments. I mean, to just kind of cap off the conversation about Vinny, just really knows how to limit test, I think is the best way to summarize their performance. TTK as well. I mean, he was actually playing on a controller, the good God, because he was also just in there and oftentimes being the damage leader, which sometimes you are going to be getting from your tanks. But Delana was just so instrumental the whole way throughout the dismantling while playing the Hela, then coming over onto this Namor here in the end and just absolutely popping off from beginning to end. I think for me, like, limited information.
That's such a dirty clip to be in the finalized package.
For me, from what I have seen, Delana, I would put at the top of the duelist list.
That's so filthy.
In North America, at the very least, if not in the world. I've been so impressed with everything that I've seen from this player.
Delana versus Sparker. I am ready for that 1v1. We'll have to wait for that, but as we look back over some of his highlights, he really was forced onto the Hela quite a bit, dealing with the triple Vanguard. But every time he got his ultimate, you saw value. And then it was these 1v1s. Raimazing got the best of him a few times, but chat was even calling it out. He was winning the Hela war.
mean, overall, like Delina, I mean, on the Hela, on the Namor, making the difference often. And when you're here in Marvel Rivals in general, if you're thinking about like, okay, like oftentimes there's a lot of sustain. What is the goal of a duelist, especially on picks like Namor, on picks like Hela? It's to win the flanks. It's to get a pick, to take around the other opposing team duelists, and then get to the back line to pressure the strategist, do a ton of damage in the back. And that's what Delina did expertly all the time, just being a complete menace coming in late and just making sure that when it popped into late Goddess of Death, something of that nature, even the Hornet Proteus, getting consistent value because they come in late. I mean, this flank on Path of Yggdrasil is just highlighting it. Like, they're behind. They're going to get picks. It's just disgusting.
This short buff, fantastic Namor play, the scumbag squids on the rooftop, and you could just hear the criticals every time we went to his perspective.
I think for me, the thing that's most impressive with these flanks is just Delina's game sense and understanding of timing about when they could get into these positions, and also when to expect that the opponent is going to be getting into position. Because we saw them have the read against Amazing time and time again, understanding like, okay, they're going to try to come through this area at this time. And in a hero shooter game like this, where you just, you die, you go to a respawn room and you come back and you try to rejoin with the rest of your team, it's really hard to track. It's not like attack FPS where everyone's spawning at the same time. You have it's round based. When it's much more chaotic, being able to have those understandings of timings is so much more impressive. So the lane is just absolutely incredible, and I can't wait to see more from them.
As we take a look back on the full night, we had 2 kings crowned. Once again, it's Virtus Pro who defends their throne over in EU. But we have a new king of NA, formerly Mutants, now 100 Thieves. Avast, I know there's a lot of other squads out there. Anyone you particularly want to see on the next show?
I mean, Envy has a roster, a former alma mater of mine. I would love to see Envy potentially coming on to Rivals Fight Night. I think like that's one that, and then also Shikigami, which is the former, pretty much one of the former teams that played at former FlyQuest. They have a new roster as well that's coming out. Nightmare as well has gotten a new roster, which is former Sentinels. There's so many orgs out there for North America that could all come. My vote is probably going to Envy. I would love to see Envy just play. They have a lot of old heads that we know and we all love, but it's going to be a battle for all of them, I think, to potentially unseat 100 Thieves right now from the throne.
Unfortunately, I am out next week. I will be in Texas for the Call of Duty League, but I saw a little golden boy floating around here. We know we've been on some calls with Zoe. We've got a few friends connected in this Overwatch space, Achilles, the greatest in the world, all want to work on this show. Why? Because we have a lot of fun. What were your favorite moments from tonight as we close out week number 2?
Probably the moment that I was like, okay, actually, I think I can cast this game, and I'm not going to just fall on my face and be a complete utter failure. I think there was definitely some roughness, but this is the first day, so overall, I'm feeling pretty good about it. It was good.
You don't
to
like
work
my puns?
No, but it was good to work with Avast
okay.
aside from the puns for the first time in a casting capacity, and of course, always a pleasure to be alongside you, Mr. Chris Puckett. So I think the whole vibe of the show was just the best part for me.
I do think we need to add a visual Avast pun counter. I don't know who would be the official pun keeper, but we're going to find that out on the next show.
We don't want to subject anybody on production to that.
On Thursday, you can catch us Rivals Fight Night. If you missed this show, don't worry. The VOD's going to go up on twitch.tv/Rivals Fight Night and over on YouTube. Rivals Fight Night. Just type it in the little search. You're going to find us. We got week 1, week 2 now in the books. We'll find out how 100 Thieves won. See you then. Wrap. Show them the graphic.
There it is. There it goes.